Drue Tranquill was one of the big name middle linebackers in this free agency class. He was a free agent. He was their green dot linebacker. He was like a play caller on defense last year with the Los Angeles Chargers. He got a decent qualifying offer from the team before free agency. He said no, wanted to test the market. They ended up going to get Eric Hendricks, and so he's a free agent and didn't really have a big market. Comes to Kansas City, gets a 1 year, $5 million, $3 million deal with the maximum of $5 million. Wow. Coming off his best season last year, he led the Chargers in total tackles with 144. Big thing was I love the signing because Tranquil's one of those guys. When you play against the Chargers, you always saw Tranquil. You noticed him on the field.
Yeah, he was. Yes,
dude's all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people were confused. Chief fans were confused about bringing in another linebacker. That's one position that we don't think we have a need in when we have Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, Leo Chenal, and obviously Darius Harris, free agent, and he got a lot of playing time last year. But what do you make of this signing in an already crowded middle linebacker room?
It's another speculation. To me, it's depth. You got a guy who's a proven guy who could play football, leading tackle on the team last year. And you got him for $3 million, almost incentive to $5 million. Is that what it was? You said 3 or 2? Was it
$3 million incentive maximum to $5 million?
Wow, that's a good. I don't want to call it a steal. That's a great contract for the Chiefs, and even for him too, because it's the same thing we were just talking about before. It's like, okay, if I come in and I sign this deal, then maybe the market the next year is going to be bigger. And then we know also too, look, Willie Gay is somebody who's going to come up to be signed. So, hey, Willie, love to have you. But if you're asking for an exorbitant amount of money, we don't have that for you. And instead of us sitting over here trying to reach around to find somebody to get a guy here and worry, there's somebody in the building who's a proven guy. So hopefully, and that's speculation. This is all speculation, man. I don't know what it is. I have no idea, but I know if you could get a guy here for that amount of money, a great player, then do it. It's just a deal that works. And so he feels good about it. Chiefs feel good about it. The ones I say who went out on this is, both parties, but the Chiefs, obviously, because you got a good player, for that amount of money. It's good. I like Drue. I like Drue a lot.
Yeah, and one thing about him, I didn't know this, but he was a safety coming out of college, and a lot of people think that with Spags' defense, we do so many varieties of things that he could play more of a box safety kind of look. I mean, he has so many different looks, so I'm sure they have plenty of ways to utilize a guy who's got versatility like this.
Yeah, I don't know if they would. I know he has that history. Question is, becoming bigger, playing safety, can he still do some things he was doing when he was a safety before, right? That's the real question. Because, I mean, you got to think about, covering guys and whatnot. But he has a versatility. He has a versatility to do that. Like you said, we got so many good guys here. Leo Chenal. And so, like you said, when you're thinking about what you could possibly do, the variety of defense that you could run. And Spags loves doing a lot of different things. He loves bringing pressure. He loves putting in a lot of different sets, different personnel in the game, just kind of throw you off. So that's what he does. He gives you some versatility.
Yeah.
That's good. So I think, man, he's looking at it like, man, come on, we could do this with this guy. You can do that with that guy. So, yeah. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting on that side of the ball this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, like we said, these guys it's funny when I was watching March Madness the other day, one of the college games. Tom Izzo, Michigan State, the guy I covered when I worked up in Lansing, he was talking about how he calls freshmen. This is something kind of what you and I talked about. He says he calls freshmen by the 25th game of the season. He says they're not freshmen anymore; they're sophomores. He goes, by the 25th game of the season, they're sophomores, they're no longer freshmen. So by the time they get to March Madness, they're seasoned. They've already played a year of it. They've never done a tournament style, but they played a year in the system so that they're no longer freshmen anymore. It's kind of what we talked about with the young DBs and a lot of the young guys on defense. These guys, not only did they get a full season, they got a full playoffs. These guys are no longer freshmen. These guys may not even be sophomores anymore. They're more so midway through the sophomore year going into the next year. What do you think about that idea as far as the younger guys?
I like the idea. I still think time and experience gives you a little bit more of that. Like you was able to get in the playoffs. Cool. Your body still has to adjust playing that many games in 1 year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you obviously playing more games. You're doing more snaps. So based off of that, yes. Mentally though, it's still one season. It's your first season, and you're still trying to get your bearings around you as far as like what all of this is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so after the first year is over, I think you really understand that first year is in the books. It's like, oh, okay. Well, now I know where to live in Kansas City. Now I know who to talk to. I know where to go on vacation and stuff. Like they're learning all those different things now when you have an off season. You really deal like so. This is still a lot of firsts for them in a lot of ways, just in the experience of playing in the NFL.
Okay, I guess that definitely more to it in a professional world than a college basketball player or college football player, because really it's you're going to school, you're going to class, you're going in practice. Whereas and being a professional, there's just a lot more to it than just that.
A lot more to it. It's just a lot more to it. And it's good for him to say that, and to think that. Reality is. There's a lot of teams at home. You know why? Because they're inexperienced.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't let that fool you. Like, hey, what? You're supposed to be a sophomore. You didn't see this before. No, coach, I'm a foot. Oh, dang, I forgot. You're right. My fault. Dang. Like, why did I think that? Right? So it sounds good to say, but guys are still developing. The guys are still learning.
Yeah.
That's why, I think there was a lot of pushback when people doing like the one and done. What are you doing? How you establish yourself? What did we see about your game that is going to translate to the NBA or the NFL? Yeah. The next season, or NBA, of course, in this, this instance. And that was the problem. Some of these guys may not have been ready.
I mean, I think that's probably one of the biggest. And I'm a huge NBA guy, and I think that's one of the biggest differences between college or NBA and NFL. Whereas you have to play the 3 years in college. You have to be a junior. You could the earliest is a junior, right?
Yes.
College. I mean, basketball. I think they're going to go back to the high school thing in a couple of years. And it's like there's a reason why teams tank to get the top 3 picks, because in every NBA draft there's maybe 3 or 5 guys who are locks to be great. Where the NFL draft, yes, it's 7 rounds, bigger teams and stuff, but like you could go all draft long. And we've seen it with the Chiefs. All draft long, you're finding guys who start on this team who will be good for this team for a while. Whereas a lot of these one and doneers, that's it. They're going to be playing in Europe and playing overseas. Because it's just they didn't have what it takes to play at the ultimate level.
Right.
Because they didn't get the development, they didn't get the experience.
Development and experience, yeah, that's so important, so important. So, but I get Tom Izzo is an incredible coach. I like Tom. He does a good job up there, man. But
fiery guy.
Huh? Yes, he is. He's. I think I seen him. Maybe there was a video of him in a fight. Was he fighting somebody?
He gets pissed off at the refs every game, but flips out. Now he has 2 instances that I remember a couple of years back, actually, when I covered him in 2018 or 2017. He had to be held back against Aaron Henry. They'd be held back when they call a timeout, and then when they got to the huddle, he was still yelling at him, and the players had to hold him back again.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, all the MSU guys that go to the league, like Draymond Green, they all defend Tom Izzo, say he's the best. That's the reason why he's been there for so long. And
right, man, he's a good coach. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Yeah, maybe it's what he's talking about. Maybe that the teams he coaches, those guys are. They're no longer freshmen anymore because he's such a good coach.
Right, yeah.
The other ones.
That's the arrogance of it. We were talking about arrogance last week. That's the arrogance of it. Yeah,
exactly.
Guys are ready. Why? Because I made them ready. Okay, yeah. I get them ready. I get them ready faster than everybody else. Okay, they're sophomores, so when they get here, they are ready. They got 2 vets now. Thanks, Tom.
The one thing with the Tranquil signing, and I know great point how Willie Gay's coming up on his contract's almost done. But another thing is just the fact that Willie Gay has missed a lot of games in his time, and having a guy like Tranquil who's been around the block. And Chenal may not be ready. You know, he did get some playing time this year, but he didn't get that many reps to be like, you know what? If Willie Gay's out, we can put Chenal in there. Because I mean, Darius Harris was the other guy stepping up last year when Gay was out. So it's like you got Tranquil in there in case anything ever happens with Gay or Bolden. You have a guy who's been there, a green dot middle linebacker.
Absolutely, 100%. Right, and there we go back to the whole experience thing. Right, so Leo may not be ready.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, I have a guy that's ready. I had a guy that plug and play. He is ready to plug in and play right now.
Yeah,
got to worry about anything. He seasoned.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And on top of that, he's an AFC West rival middle linebacker. I think we had a guy who you play with, Donnie Edwards, who did the opposite of that.
Yeah. Donnie left from Kansas City, went out there to San Diego, then came back to Kansas City, came back home.
Yeah.
Good to see old Donnie back. Came back, man. Yeah. Me and Donnie came in together.
Oh, you guys came in the same year together?
Yeah, 96. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Played in Senior Bowl together.
Dang. So you guys go way back.
Way back. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw a picture the other day on Twitter of Donnie Edwards. Guy's an age at all, dude. He's an age a day.
No. he's doing it all too, man. There's a whole lot of stuff, man. Donnie has a very interesting life. He loves traveling. He's been doing it for a number of years. Such a brilliant, intelligent guy. Jerry's just very thoughtful. Great dude, man. Great dude. So yeah.
No, I remember seeing like post game interviews with him back in the day. I seemed a very eloquent guy, very like soft spoken, but like just cool dude, just jet down to earth types.
All day.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm sure I get a theme with your whole Chief crew from back in the early 2000s. All of you guys very down to earth, just good dudes. So.
Yeah, we try to be, we are, we all good with each other, man. We see each other, man, and we, always laughing it up, reminiscing over the things that, back in the day. So it's always good to see kind of like how the transition in the NFL, where things are now.
Mm-hmm.
I always kind of laugh when I look at some, film, somebody send me something, or maybe I was in video spiking the ball, and I see the stadium and people cheering and stuff. I'm like, wow, this is just crazy. But
because a lot has changed, and also a lot hasn't changed.
A lot has changed. A lot has not. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.